the data is, and we're gonna go ahead and stream with my phone data. Yeah. Ah, yes, 136. But at least it's not gonna jump any higher than that. It will not jump higher than that, chat. I lied. It went up to 219, but it's more stable than the other stream. So we're the other internet. So we're fine. We're chilling, right? Now let's get back to this. Let's go back to the underground real quick. Yeah, apparently they got a British voice actor to do English voice lines for this character.
Thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Voice is even not annoying this way.
Yeah, Paimon's voice is always supposed to be high, squeaky, and...
It's more annoying in English.
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
You can hear the British in her.
Huh?
Yep.
Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
If they had gotten a French person to do the voice acting, would have sounded so genuine.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
See, chat, this is why I like Japanese voice acting. They sound authentic to what the character looks like to me. These just sound like the person you see in everyday life.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Zabelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste.
Okay.
He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well,
No.
that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modest wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Venegem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh, huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey,
You
now,
asked, so.
it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows? Maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
What? Huh.
Venegem,
Guess
the
she's
guy.
had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our Gâteau do the talking.
What's a gâteau?
It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
Damn.
However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now,
we
if
got
I
3
had to
chefs
push
right
it,
here.
I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Well, that's easy.
right here.
The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need
Paimon,
to
you're not
pick 2 of
included.
us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
Mise en place. I can show you a sword skill. How about a knife? Show Scofier your knife skill. Use normal attacks to cut the fruit. Bro, playing Fruit Ninja. Let's go.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up.
Oh, shit.
Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Oh, wait. I guess I did good.
Yeah, Thankfully, it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving
Alright, Paimon, put the
statues
knife
out
down.
of fruits or something.
Well,
knife
brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
What's a cold press? I actually don't even know what the hell
A
that
kind of
is.
special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
I'm gonna use yeah. Play your master with the cold press. Tap your elemental skill to accelerate the cold press progress, then use normal tactics to let it do its work. It seems like the special substance extracted from the plant might come in handy.
Custom-made
here.
equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Simon's never used anything this weird before. Cool. Not weird.
The device isn't cold enough yet. I need to reduce the temperature.
There it is. There it is. I just had to tap it. I was holding it.
And
hold it.
done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in
Yeah,
at once will
Paimon.
ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
Learn at Escoffier's feet and master her. What? I don't have a foot fetish.
I guess I'm finally on the right path.
Yeah, we gotta master her feet, mother.
Slowly and carefully. Not.
Okay, so I need to do 2 of you. Shit. Wait a minute. 5 of you. Then 3. Bada boom. Ah, I'm so good. Yep. I mastered the feat.
And voila! Now it's your turn.
My turn.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try.
I guess I just treated it like an adventurer puzzle.
Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel de Boer's current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score. That's right, the true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
Submit dishes from the Hotel de Boer.
How's
Fuck
it going?
you.
Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely.
The best dish I can possibly make is this one.
I know this doesn't represent what you're capable of. Try again, and this time, I want to see you make a proper attempt.
Submit dishes. Where is your cooking station then? Oh, that was the blue one. That was the best one I could make. Why not have, is there not a cooking pot here? Oh, there's one. Cook. Alright, let's see what we got here. No, I just made this. Huh. Submit dishes from Hotel de Boer. I have like 4 dishes.
How's it going?
What about this?
Huh. I know this doesn't represent what you're capable of. Try again, and this time, I want to see you make a...
Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking way too... I'm thinking way too ahead. There's a cooking pot right here. Yeah, no. What I'm doing is I'm just submitting dishes. No, I need to absolutely submit this dish. Like, I gotta get a perfect. Ah, there we go. Now that it's perfect.
How's it going?
Yeah, here you go. Boom. I'm thinking way too hard about
Look
this.
at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
I'm thinking way too hard about this. No, the reason she didn't
Pretty
accept
good,
it is
right?
because it
Not
was,
to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
please.
6 points.
6 points. Damn.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass.
That's 6
No,
out of
it's-
100.
Yeah. It's right, Paimon. Get out of
You
the
say
kitchen.
you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that
Yep.
logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Damn.
Me
Look at the
next,
heart
me next.
breaking in half.
I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aw.
Yeah.
Now to the final dish.
It's a steak.
So, what do you think?
This is our last hope.
8
12
points.
points. Damn.
Darn, that's barely higher than what we got.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
Why I did
Pull that off.
Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen.
Yep.
I can really
I hope you
taste the
enjoyed
grace
my,
of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's
enjoyed
journey,
my,
with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks.
Counterbell.
Not to mention the frustrations
Don't know
of
why you
having a
just didn't
picky
lift the
eater
thing
for
up
a
off the
partner.
food.
Hey, you made that last part up. No way did you taste that.
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
Chef Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire. What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Boer, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Is that
Dear
him?
Ma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking.
He's gonna help, Mother. We're gonna win.